I'm going to study graphic design for fall semester in Azusa Pacific University. And today I have the pleasure of sharing with you a very important topic, which is AI in design field. So when you hear the word AI, you will probably think something related with computer or robot. And yes, it is true, because AI stands for artificial intelligence, which means that a robot that behaves like a human. So why is it so important? AI has developed with an amazing speed that it is used in many different career fields, such as design fields, medical fields, or engineering fields. But today, I'm going to mainly focus on AI used in design fields. So I will show you a short clip of how AI is used in how AI program, which is Dreamcatcher, used in the design process.
What if you could come up with thousands of options for a single design without drawing, all of which meet specific goals set by the designer? And from those options, pick the one design that delivers on the most important criteria, a design you couldn't possibly have imagined. This is generative design, a technology that harnesses massive computing power, creating forms with precise amounts of material only when needed, achieving maximum performance while wasting nothing.
So as you can see, Dreamcatchers help designers to design easier with an advanced quality by its generative design, based on the databases that designers has inserted. So if you look at this picture, this simple form of chair changes into this unique shape of chair with the help of the Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher helps designers to explore materials in colors or decorations. It helps designers to test various solutions that it could be happen, and also it helps designers to choose a frame to do an additional work. So this is how Dreamcatchers work. First, designers put information such as their inspirations, targeted groups, or budget limitations into this design program. Then this program generated into a sample form, and with this sample form, designers explore materials with it. And if there's something to do an additional work, then they go back to the beginning of this step and repeat these procedures to fabricate into one whole complete design work. So until here, it sounds great that AI can provide convenience to the designers, right? But for me, it is really sad that people are only focusing on how it can be developed and used in design field, not how it could negatively affect in the design field. As AI has developed rapidly, it may cause some problems in the design field, such as the loss of workplaces, loss of human essence, and primarily benefits biased groups. So today, I want to argue that this aggressive development of AI should be limited in order to protect designers. So let's look at the first negative effects that it could create in the design field. The first negative effect is the loss of workplaces and job opportunities. Back at that time, designers were respected as the most creative people in the world, and they could, since they could create anything that no one could imagine. And because of that, they were able to monopolize the design market. But now, things has changed. Since AI is doing what designers have to deal with, creativity is no longer needed as the most strong characteristic. And because the role as creator has changed, the design company rather than designers to be creative, design companies requires designers to be able to handle and manage the AI program. And because of that, the job role as designers has changed from creators to the engineer. And because the role has changed, the traditional designers with artistic skills will be reduced. Just like what Gerling, who is the expert in the design field, has mentioned, that designers will no longer hold a monopoly on being the most creative people in the world. And this tells that designers will lose one of the remarkable aspects, which is creativity, that could lead to the loss of workplaces and job opportunities. However, some claims that the development of AI will create jobs, such as algorithmic design jobs and AI design specialties. as technology has developed, there are more people who are needed to develop and manage it. But as you can see, the examples that I showed you, they may seem like a designer, but actually they are scientists and engineers working in the design field. So only those jobs that are related with STEMs will be developed and increased, while traditional design jobs like visual designers and UX designers will be reduced at the same time. Now that we look at how AI could take away the job opportunities from the designers, now let's look at the next negative effect, which is the loss of human essence. It is fine for AI to be developed just as an advanced tool, but it is dangerous when AI becomes the substitute for the designers. But however, scientists and many design companies are investing billions of money for AI to behave like a human. And with their efforts, AI can participate in the creation process. As one Autodesk, which is one of the most famous software company, has mentioned that Dreamcatchers can provide hundreds of outlines for the designers. And because they can provide lots of outlines, the creative freedom for the designers will be reduced significantly. And because the creative freedom is taken away, the creativity will be ignored in the design process. And also, creativity is one of the strongest factors that could be distinguished between AI and human. But as AI could participate in the creation process, the difference between AI and human will be no longer different in the close future. However, there are some people who says that AI still has limited abilities compared to the human ability. Just as what Professor Zhang, who is the professor in the brain science field, has mentioned that for AI to be creative, scientists have to know the origins of the human essence first, which means it is impossible for AI to be creative. And it can also apply that it has only tiny possibilities for designers to be replaced by AI. However, what I really want to say is that the jobs are not the only one that could be replaced by AI. Human essence, which is creativity, could be replaced by AI too. And who has mentioned that human's creativity could perform better than the AI's ability? As AI could participate in the creation process, the creativity will be no longer necessary for non-designers to be designers. Now, let's move your attention to the final negative effects, which is AI creates bias-benefited groups. As AI has developed and used in many different career fields, the jobs like organ designers, cybernetic directors, chef drone experience designers will be created. And as you can see, they are all related with STEMs. And people are not interested for the designers. They are only interested in furthering the STEM fields. And it may benefit to the consumers. For consumers, the AI's production might not visually satisfy as much as humans' creativity has performed. But since AI can apply almost 100% to a product, why not deny its ability? And for the company, AI is a really good employee since they does not require lots of money to manage it, and it can work for a long time while resulting in great outcomes. And Victor, who is the leader of the small team consisted with visual designers, has mentioned that AI helps the company to achieve its business goal and strengthen its brand. And as you can see, the profits that their employees create is all focused on the company, not their designers. And people say it is pity for designers to be replaced by AI, but since it is a natural flow of the trend, we have to trend that minorities sacrifice the majority's good. We have to accept and adapt it. And with the minority sacrifice, there result a big advantages like AI be a personal AI assistant, AI provides variety of context, and it can suggest of improvement, and also with a minor performance, they could create a big outcomes, which leads to providing more convenient life. But since minorities are the small groups of people in the social group, it does not mean that minorities are less important compared to the majorities. And in the before we are designers, we were humans, and humans. In the past, humans were considered as the labor resources, but now the meaning of the humans has changed into a precious life that has value to be exist and respected. So we have right to be respected. And I know that there are many people with amazing artistic skills, and for them to perform their talent, I think we have to give the fair chances for everyone to perform their skills in their career field. And designers are the people who use maximum amount of human essence into a beautiful visual form, and that's why designers has to be respected as a designers. So throughout these presentations, I introduced the 3 negative effects that development of AI could create, which is first, losing job opportunities and workplaces. Second, losing human essence, and finally, AI creates bias-benefited groups. So what I want to say is that because it is a natural flow, does that mean does that mean we have to do nothing while AI is standing right there and stealing our opportunities? AI is created for humans and by humans, so we can stop it and we can change it. Limiting development does not mean that limiting our life quality or the technologies. By these limitations, it could develop everything together with harmony. If AI is developed just as advanced tools and designers were respected as designers, the collaboration between AI and human designers will create spectacular outcomes that neither one could accomplish by their own. Thank you. So now I may take your questions.
Hi, Rebecca.
Yes.
Thank you. This sounds. This is. I wouldn't say. Well, it's a similar topic to Dr. Chen's
Yes.
presentation, but I just wanted to focus on your last statement, your conclusion there, where you said that you said that your central argument is that AI should be limited, right?
The development
of AI should be limited.
Yes.
But don't you see that there may be problems with that in terms of the potential of what AI could do for both humans and for the technology in general?
So it will be helpful when AI is developed just as a tool. But what I want to say is that it is dangerous when AI becomes substitute for the designers. Yeah. Yes.
Is that a valid argument? I mean, are there people out there arguing that AI is a substitute for the designers?
Well, as scientists are investing lots of money for AIs to be substitute, like behave like a human, it could be substitute for the designers because I didn't show you the examples, but the Prisma, which is one of the AI program, can recently created websites, and lots of experts evaluated that the website that AI has created, the Prisma has created, was better than the human designers has created. So in the future, if the scientists were not considerate enough, then they could be substitutes. They could be replaced designers, and there is high possibility to be happen.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, as Mary mentioned before, if people want to be a doctor in a high position, they have to learn more about AI. So if in the future, if you in your career, your company asks you to learn more about how to use AI to design, would you willing to learn, or you will refuse to that?
Well, I will willing to learn, but the problem is that AI is not generous enough to wait for humans to develop at their level. So by its limitations and when it becomes an advanced tool, then they will be a great partner and they will create spectacular outcomes. Yes.
Okay.
I just want to say, so you're saying that artists are selling out by using AI to produce their work?
No, they are not artists. I'm sorry.
So
Can you
artists, designers, people who have a stake in the field, that they're selling out because they're using artificial intelligence.
What does the word selling out mean?
Selling
Sorry.
out means, basically what it means is, you're giving, like for example, my brother, he's an artist. He sometimes works for Lucasfilm and does art work. But his idea of selling out is selling his paintings. If he starts making money for what he does, and he uses that as the stimulus for what he does, versus creating something new
Yes.
and being innovative, then he feels that that's like selling out. So, but are you saying that artists are selling out by using AI to produce their work? Basically, they're compromising and saying they're not being innovative.
So what you're trying to say is that artist is using the AI to sell their products?
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is that they're not as innovative as people who don't use AI.
Well, I think it's different when it compares to the fine artists and the designers, because fine artists, they express their characteristic with the piece of art, but designers, they work for the companies and their customers. So I think the meaning of the selling out could be different. Yes, thank you.
And then the second question, how can, if so, you have a situation, how can people use AI more responsibly? Let's say, do you believe it's possible for an artist who's creative to use AI? If so, how can they use that more responsibly in the limited sense that you talked about?
Well, the limitation that I mentioned is AI has to be developed as just a tool, not like they create with the small databases, they create the whole world. I don't really expect that, but I hope that it's developed as just as a tool that the many artists and the designers could use it. So I forgot your question. Sorry. Yeah.
Did you want me to re-clarify?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.